Hello everyone, and welcome to my documentary about helping people through the snowstorms. I've always loved playing in the snow. I've tried to help people out when it snows for most of my life. I usually try to focus on necessities and people who are stranded out in the storm and really need all the help that they can get, whether it's delivering medicine to them or food and diapers and things they might need in order to survive, or being able to take somebody warm if they're cold, or sometimes even taking them firewood if they need firewood. And I also take people to the doctor and pick them up from the doctor and take them home a lot as well. On May 2nd last year, I started this documentary of trying to make a positive video a day for an entire year. I made a promise to my son that I'd try and help the world any way I can, so I'm on a mission trying to fulfill that promise. This video is just a small section of a mini documentary I'm making about helping people through the snowstorms, and that mini documentary is just a smaller section of my entire page that I've been doing for almost a year now. Feel free to scroll through my page and check it all out. So this was from the first snowstorm of the year. We got hit pretty hard up north towards Kansas City. They got, I think, close to 20 inches. Down here at the lake, we got more like 10, but there's definitely ice involved, and it was pretty nasty. I know it's got to be a terrifying feeling for a lot of people to be completely stranded, because a lot of people don't have a 4x4 truck or the ability to get out, or aren't that good at driving in it, and they're scared of being out in it. And so it's just an absolutely hopeless feeling to not be able to go anywhere and to just be completely stranded where you're at. I empathize a lot with people, and I don't like the thought of people just having to worry and stress. And so I try to do all I can to help ease people's worries, and I do all I can to try and help people. I have a skill to where I took my ability to play and just love playing in the snow, and I use it to try and in turn do what I can to help those in need whenever it snows really bad like this. And that's just what I focus my time on doing, and I do it every year, and it's just something I really enjoy doing. I actually kind of like the cold. I got heat stroke years ago, and I really don't like the hot, so I function much better in the cold. I have all the Under Armour gear and Carhartts and muck boots and all that good stuff I need, so I be sure to stay warm. And I just go out and I do all I can to try and help people through the storms. So when it snows bad like this, I always make a public post on Facebook that I'm willing to help people out, and I just post it to all the local groups, and I give everybody my phone number and tell them if they need anything that's a necessity, I'll be happy to help out and go from there. So this is going to be the first post I made of the year for the first snowstorm of the year. If anyone out there needs help and is stranded or in need of necessities, I will gladly help out for free. Please don't hesitate to call me anytime at 573-286-8316. I am an extremely good driver with a good working 4x4 that I just now fixed. I'm wanting to focus on essentials like medicine, food, doctor visits, heater or wood deliveries, or child care needs. And if someone is without power or heat, I will gladly pick you up and take you and your family somewhere warm. Same goes if you're stuck in a ditch with no help. I can try and pull you out or give you a ride if you're stranded. I know how stressful and helpless it is to feel stranded, and that some of you may be very worried. Just know I love the driving challenge, and I don't mind helping at all in any way I can. So hopefully it will ease the tension knowing I will be available to help out. Please only make it for essential items or necessities. But if anyone is in any kind of need at all, please reach out. I will gladly help out, free of charge. 573-286-8316. Thanks, everyone. So I made that post the night the storm rolled in, and the next morning it was pretty bad, and I just went non-stop for 4 days straight helping people, and it was pretty much day and night. I would wake up in the morning, and sometimes I would have to give people rides. There was one lady that wanted to ride at 4:30, and I had to push it back a little bit. I think I was able to get her there at 6, but I pretty much went non-stop for 4 days. I would just go and leave the truck running from the time I woke up and started it until all day at night. Usually it would be about 10 or 11 when I'd get home, and I'd wake up and do it again, and I did it for 4 days straight. I usually helped roughly 10 to 20 people a day, somewhere in that range. It's really hard to keep track of everything I did and everybody I helped. I know right when I started, I think the first lady was somebody who was having heart problems. She had a pacemaker, and she had to get a ride to the hospital in an ambulance in the middle of the snowstorm and stuff. After she went to the hospital, she was all good to go and ready to get out, but had no way to get home. So I went and picked her up and took her home, And after I did that, I picked up another gentleman from the hospital and took him to Eldon. During that journey, I also was able to help out a family there that was needing a heater and a bunch of food and stuff, and I bought them all that stuff and was able to deliver it to them while I was taking him home. And I just went about the rest of my day after that. It all kind of clusters and mixes together, but like I said, I give people rides, families and kids and stuff with kids, to places where they were warm, and I delivered lots of food, just picked up lots of people, took medicine. I did some firewood, took a guy some firewood, and I was able to get it from a entrepreneur young man. I think he was 10 or 12, and he had just worked in the summer to split up a bunch of firewood and planned ahead. And this young man, I mean, he really put his heart and soul into it and did all that work. And I was glad I was able to buy that firewood from him. And I was able to help everybody out. It was great. There was even a point to where once there was a lady that was needing help at 3:30 in the morning. And I woke up and she was just sleeping in her car and didn't have anywhere else to go, and was out of gas, getting ready to run out of gas. So I woke up and put gas in her car and gave her a little bit of money for some food and a little bit of money to hopefully try and get somewhere warm. The warming shelter there in Osage Beach, or really anywhere, they only accepted people from 9 to 10 at night. So at 3:30 in the morning, she wasn't able to get in there, which was kind of inconvenient. Now, I'm not trying to complain about the warming shelters or anything. It's a great service that they do, and I really appreciate everything that they do. And it just kind of made it hard to help people because there was just certain time limits where you could come in and out. And it just made it a little bit difficult. There was a couple different times to where I had people that were trying to find somewhere warm and get out of the cold, and there was just no option, nowhere. And it's just, I think that there's a need there that we kind of need to try and fill in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what the answer is, but it's just something that I think that we should try and maybe work on a little bit. But like I said, I went pretty much 4 days straight, just helping people nonstop, sun up till sundown, pretty much from about 6 in the morning till 10, 11 at night, and did it all out of pocket right before it started. I did a little job, had $1,300 in my pocket, and just went, and just did all I could to try and help everybody. And unfortunately, on day 4, right when it was starting to get dark, so it was probably 7 o'clock at night, I was on the way to go help some people, and my truck broke down, and it was super inconvenient and a very bad time. I was just depending on it to continue to keep running, and it was just an unforeseen problem that had arose. And once it broke down, I looked in my pocket and I had less than $100, and I realized that I was in a tight spot. I'd just spent all my money helping people, and I didn't really have anything, and I knew I could borrow money from people and it was going to be all right. So that's my thing in my pocket, is that I know if I have to, I can borrow money and then resell stuff and get back on my feet. It's just a temporary thing. So I knew I would be okay, and I just get super hyper focused on things, and I was so hyper focused on helping people that I kind of had tunnel vision. I didn't really look outside of it until my truck broke down, and then I realized, oh, I'm kind of in a tight spot. So that's just where I was at with everything, unfortunately, and it kind of was inconvenient, but it was just part of life, and thus is life. And I had worked my truck really hard going to North Carolina, and I'd worked it hard in the snow, and I'd even been doing donuts in the snow. I won't lie, I'd been having some fun. So my poor truck had been worked pretty hard, and it just needed a little bit of love. And so I got a tow truck to bring it back to the house, and I just started trying to tinker on it and work on it. But that, unfortunately, had put an end to me being able to help people in the snowstorm. So that was how I ended the first big snowstorm of the year. I appreciate everybody for following along and keeping up. Stay posted. There's a lot more to this story to come. Thanks, everyone.